Alright, hi there, Loy from loymachedo.com and whoisloymachedo.com. Today is the 16th of May 2014. I finally managed to get the time to review, well, the one and only Godzilla. And the title of my evaluation for Godzilla 2014 is why Godzilla is the evil version of Barney the dinosaur. For those of you who do not know who's Barney, I suggest you just Google it. You'll see a big-headed pink monster which children love to, play with. So why is Godzilla more like him? Well, first let me start with how did I actually come to know of Godzilla, the movie. The trailers were short, they were here, there, everywhere, just hardly 10 seconds. They would show glimpses of devastation. And then you had this long throw of earth where you could make out that a monster has clawed its way into the sea. Then you had high-rise buildings half broken and bits and pieces falling. And especially, the memorable scene where the Statue of Liberty's face was half broken, her arm was gone. And then you saw the flashes of, sacrifice, guys jumping from airplanes, all that red, I don't know, what do you call that, smoke from the guys who were falling down from the flash guns with red, and then you could see the scales and water falling from the monster who's moving. And also the soundtrack, it kept going with urgent warnings, and then then you had that voice saying, "You have no idea what's coming. It's going to send us back to the Stone Age." And I was like, "Yes, it's going to be. It's a movie." Then you'd finally hear that scream. Okay, that was Godzilla. So I was hooked. I was actually waiting for it. You wouldn't believe I was supposed to give a keynote address on the day of the showing. And I was so disappointed throughout the address. I was waiting just to get out and see Godzilla. And the minute I finished the presentation, I immediately checked for movie tickets. Sold out. Completely sold out. Finally, I managed to get one theater that was in Sharjah. Nobody likes to watch in Sharjah. They like to see in Dubai because the theaters are big. So I went down to Sharjah, managed to get a ticket, and I was like, yes, I'm going to finally see it. I bought, even though I was on a diet, I bought all the overpriced nachos, the popcorn, the Coke, everything else. I sat down with a whole bucket, here to here, nachos, Coke. Coke was there, and popcorn. So I was waiting for the movie. I waited, and I waited, and the movie kept moving, and I was like, okay, it's going to start. And then the movie got over. And I'm still sitting with my nachos and my popcorn and my Coke, and I was like, that's it? Finish? And everyone walked off, and I was still sitting there like an idiot. So I decided to go home. I sat at home, still having the nachos, popcorn, and Coke, and I started to think, why didn't I actually enjoy the movie? Why? What was it in the movie that I didn't like? So here's my review. First and foremost, as usual, all the gregarious aliens and monsters find only one place in the world, on our planet. They find only one planet, and on that planet, they find only one location, that is the United States of America. And if you want to be more specific, the aliens find only one place, that is the Golden Gate Bridge. They only find that location to attack. And as usual, it's only the Americans who are the good guys, the greatest nation on the planet, the greatest patriots who can destroy the bad guys. Nobody else. Nobody else. Yes. You might have sidekicks like Indians or Arabs, but it's the Americans who are the heroes. Then, as usual, despite overwhelming odds that might, never have worked with any other race, any other human being, it's only the Americans, yes, who succeed despite all odds. And they send the bad guy with the tail in between their legs. And this time it was a rather long tail, very long tail. Okay? And, the other thing that was good about, that was there in this movie was the CGI effects. A, great CGI effects, and B, great star cast. Why? Because I don't know who's Bryan Cranston, Aaron Taylor, Johnson, Elizabeth Olsen, Ken Wata, Abby, and David Straight hair, whatever. Okay. My problem is I didn't watch their movies. I don't know much about them. So for me, they're not like Once Upon a Time Tom Cruise. They're not like who are the actors? I don't know. Okay, anyway, but the one thing which they had in this movie was amazing marketing campaign. The marketing campaign was totally off the charts. It was amazing. They really thought of this well. But the strangest bit which really confused me is the movie was shot in 2D, two-dimension, and then at the last minute the producers, the movie company decided let's sell it for 3D, and I have no idea why. Most of the people who went for 3D, they're extremely disappointed. So now the question is, why was I disappointed? Why was I not impressed? First and foremost, the character plot was absolutely weak. It was the weakest part of the movie. I mean, the first half of the movie, the first 1/3 of the movie, you're focusing on the father. You kind of make the audience want to like him, and then he dies surprisingly. And then you have the son whose face is stone, and you can hardly relate to him. And yes, he tries to come across as a good father, as a good human being, but then it's too late because by the time Godzilla is already making his entry. The storyline is pretty simple. If you want the whole storyline, it's simple. Three beasts are sleeping. They finally wake up to fight each other. The end. That's it. You know, the movie could also, I felt point number 3, the movie could win a prize for the least stuff happening at the first 2/3 of the movie. Hardly anything. In fact, I saw one person was sitting next to me. The person fell asleep, and then when Godzilla came and the roar came, the person woke up, looked at Godzilla, again went back to sleep, and in the end just woke up and watched the fight scene in there. And I don't think he missed anything. Then Godzilla apparently is the good guy, which is actually good, but he makes only 2 guest appearances. Once in Hawaii, where he shouts again, vanishes, and then towards the ending, he comes again in San Francisco. Then the Motu in Hindi means fat, but here it means massive, unidentifiable terrestrial organism, which didn't make sense because they were flying also. They have no personality at all. Their face was just like, as if it was Transformers or something like that. But the only thing which they do very well is demolish everything that they come across. Means whatever is in the world, they just destroy it. Then the movie is so dark, sometimes it doesn't make sense what is happening. You just try to make sense, and before that, the scene is already moved on. So, there was bits of gray, there was a bit of rust, there was a bit of brown. It was pretty hard to say. I have no idea why they did that. And Godzilla, as it turns out, is not even the main monster. He's actually like the referee between 2 monsters. And the monsters are not fighting. They just want to make sure he's like this kind of a condom that stops from eating. Hey, no. So that was stupid. The most weird part of the movie was, for purpose of reproduction, the male gives the female a nuclear warhead that looks like this. Shaped like this, which kind of she inserts into her body, which I felt was really funny because it kind of made me wonder, is it a warhead? Is it for energy? Or is it like a dildo? It really looks stupid. You need to see it if you think I'm just telling you the truth. If I'm not telling you the truth. So, moment of truth. 60 years old Godzilla, 28 movies later, you have $160 million budget. $80 million is added to that just to give it a marketing flavor. You have the world's most radioactive lizard that comes to life, which was once born in 1954. Well, what's the improvement? Now he has abs, he has a little bit of muscle, cool blue lava, that fire, that was kind of really nice. And he walks like Barney the dinosaur. So, if you feel I'm telling you lies, just watch the same scenes without listening to some. You'll see him walking like Barney, which is kind of funny. I know, I might be the only person who's admitting this, but I'm a minority. I was disappointed because, the hype was created so much that you felt Godzilla is going to be, yes, the movie. It's going to be like Pacific Rim, fight. But then it's not much of an action movie. It's more like, for Godzilla fans, you're just going to see it, there's something there, and then finishes off. So, even though it was more bold, more bad and beefier, I think director Gareth Edwards tried to do his best, but it didn't come out very well. I was not impressed. So for a movie critic like me, I would give this movie a 6 out of 10. I know that you would disagree. Let me know what you think. Did you enjoy the movie, not enjoy the movie? But for me, Godzilla was a sad disappointment. So, Loy from loymachedo.com and whoisloymachedo.com telling you Godzilla is not such a great movie. Until then, blah. Whatever.